There are organizations, spiritual organizations. They offer free teaching, and that's beautiful. Very often, at some point, as you become associated with the organization, you will realize that, yes, there is an expectation that you should contribute part of your income to keep the external form of it going. And the Buddha was given land so that the monastery could be there, that is form. And yet how easy it is for the form to take over and obscure the essence of the teaching, which has also happened in many organizations. The form, which was just there to enable that which is beyond form to get out into the world, grew and obscured the essence, and everybody was only concerned with the institution, the external structures of the form, and even money became part of it. So there's the danger, of course, that this can happen. Personally, I feel that there are certain cycles. There was a cycle in this teaching where things were free or at a minimum. There's a cycle that came, it was this, when great numbers of people came and there was a charge, and it worked beautifully. Thousands and thousands and thousands were reached and are being reached. And yet I feel that here too a transition is coming, and I cannot tell you yet what form the teaching will take in the future. All I know is that right now that there's a transitional point that's being reached in the form that this teaching takes. It's been perfectly fine up to this point, but I do feel that coming. So when we meet again, then perhaps we'll know what it is and what external form the teaching takes. Will it be free? Who knows, perhaps. And so only you can know what is right for you, what feels right, and you will always meet somebody else who questions that. I felt wonderful about not charging for many years until I met somebody who came. I told the story in the last Practicing Presence retreat when the same question came up. Somebody called me up and said, "Can I come to you for a session?" Yes. Said, "How much do you charge?" Said, "There is no charge, donation only." Said, oh, okay. And then she came and said, "I almost did not come because you obviously don't value your work. You don't value what you do." I said, "Oh, how is that?" "Well, you don't charge for what you do. If it's valuable." And then she talked to me for an hour about that I was wrong not to charge, and left without leaving a donation. Spiritual teaching is something new for the West. The West has had institutionalized priests and so on, but spiritual teachings, especially that are not really part of an institution, a spiritual teacher is something new in the West. There's not really a tradition of spiritual teachers. Maybe the last spiritual teachers they had were the Middle Ages, the mystics, but even the mystics were somehow associated with the church, although the church didn't like them at all. And so there is no tradition of that in the West as there is in India, where in India people are naturally generous. They provide for the livelihood of the spiritual teacher.